Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of In the Studio with Rob. I am Rob, and as I told you from our last episode, I told you we're going to be trying to get some new things together. I got, you see right behind me, you see my logo here. My young son did put the logo together for us, and my producer slash oldest son here, he's gonna be doing a song for us soon. He's just a little slow on the uptake,
Chill. Me
but
and the boys were
so
just doing.
eventually
We was
we're
just
gonna have some.
freestyling.
Eventually we're gonna have some sounds with this. I'm making this a family affair. I got another son who's doing some editing for me, so we trying to get everybody included. Some free labor. So I'm working on that free labor.
Slave workers.
So with that said, this episode, it's gonna really, we're gonna tap into friendship. We're gonna talk a little bit about what friendship is. Some of the things that you should be looking out for and things that you should be looking for in a friend, what a friend is. And so we're going to get into that a little bit today. Hopefully, it'll inspire you or it will challenge you to make better friends and to be a better friend. So, one of the things that when I was thinking about this topic and shout out to my his son, he asked me to do this topic on friendship. Because one of the things he was noticing that as you get older, it's a little bit more difficult to make friends. When you start out, especially as a kid, you go to the playground or you're in school and you got your little friends, and or you play in sports, especially for my kid, they all played sports, and so they were making friends on the basketball court, football field, cheerleading, or whatever. So they had those people that were in common. They had friends that way as well. When you get a little older, it's a little different. So you have different ways that you meet friends. But when you meet them, you have to understand, you have to be careful on how you choose your friends or how you allow friends to choose you as well. But first, what exactly are some qualities of friendship? And I looked it up and kind of saw some things that I was kind of thinking and researching some of this. So, but some of the qualities include honesty, loyalty, respect. A friend is a place that you can have trust, a place to be heard, to listen, to share. And so when we think about those things, that's not just what that person gives to you, but that's more also and probably more important what you offer to someone as you're trying to become a friend. So, one of the challenges I think though, like for me, I've had friends, a couple of friends, for 30 years. And we've been close and but we don't have to spend a lot of time together.
And y'all was friends since you was 40.
so so we don't have to be, we see each other all the time and but when we see each other it's just like, it's like yesterday. It's like we've been together the whole time. That's because our friendship has grown, but it's also trust and it's also understanding and respecting that he has things that needs to take place in his life. I got things going on in my life, and we just can't be together like we were when we were kids. You just always, hey, you wake up and you're kicking it with your friends. When you get older, it's like, we get together when time permits. But a real friend understands that, and they'll hold that against you. And also, our friendship was organic, meaning that it wasn't something that we was like, oh, I need a friend, or he needed a friend. It was something that we met each other and it developed over time. And that's how I do all my friends, all my friends have been. We organically allow the relationship to go because, me personally, I've never been thirsty for a friend. I've never needed that. It's like, oh, I just gotta have friends. No, I'm cool with me. I like me. I'm my best friend first of all. But then on top of that, so by not needing and pushing relationships, I can allow them to grow and develop into what they're going to be. And I think that's one of the mistakes that a lot of people make is that they're so hungry to have, oh, this person is cool. They should be my friend, or this person is, we got this in common. They should be my friend. None of those things mean they should be your friend. You should allow your friendship to develop. And while it's developing, it gives you the opportunity to see if that person is really someone that you need to be friends with, and also and vice versa. Do you need to be their friend? So sometimes we rush into trying to have a friend, and then we make them the friend, and then it's all of a sudden you start finding out all these other things about them. It's like, oh, how I get out of this, and you don't even know how to get out of a relationship because you don't made this. Oh, they were my best friend. You told to your mama and your daddy and all your cousin and them. How like, oh, these my people. Nah, they weren't supposed to be that. So you have to understand everybody is not going to be your best friend, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to have a place in your life in a realm of friendship, but you may not be that close. Maybe you're just a friend that I hoop with. So I got partners and always had, it was like, we go out and party, play some ball, and we just gonna, have a good time. But then I'm going home, and they're gonna go to wherever they home. You don't need to be at my house because that's not our relationship. But then there's other people that are so close to me that my kids might call them uncle. So that's the difference.
Shout out to Uncle Terry.
And so that's the real difference here. And so, you got to understand where people fit in your life and allow that to take place and allow and be satisfied with that. Now, when we talk about that friendship again, when we're looking at, okay, where or how did I get to a place in my life where this person is so important that they needed to be in that inner circle? Well, again, if you did it correctly, it's because you spent time talking and getting to know them, sharing a little of yourself here and there, them sharing a little of themselves. Over time, you share more and more, and then ultimately, or eventually, you feel so comfortable that you sharing everything or all the important things. And so that's the development time. But what happens sometimes is you start sharing so quickly that you end up giving up information about your girl, about your man, and then you didn't realize that the person wasn't really your friend. They trying, you tell him all this good stuff about your girl, and he waiting to, see when he can tap on the door because you're gonna be out of town. So you got to make sure before, one, they don't need to know certain things, no matter who they are, about your love life, but at the same time, you got to make sure that you can trust people. And you can't trust somebody because you met them a month ago and they've been cool with you for this month. And every time I talk to them, they cool. Yo, give it some time. Give it some time. Time is your friend when it comes to developing friends. And then you also have to understand that everybody is not going to be in your corner all the time. And it's like, I always say for guys, we develop friendship basically off of activities. It's kind of like we hang out together, we do things together. So we cool. We play ball, or, it's like we watch sports or whatever we do, playing pool together. Those activities bring us close together. However, that may be all there is in that relationship is the activities. And men, for the most part, are cool with that. I'm cool with just seeing you and playing some pool or playing some ball with you, and I don't have to do nothing else with you. That's great. However, some of the ladies, you get more emotionally involved. So therefore, you need to communicate and share information about what you're going through, how you're going through it, and all that, those type of things with this person that you're meeting or you just met. And so again, you're giving up too much information too soon. And not to say that it won't get there, but if you're open and slowly opening up yourself and you're a giving person, then ultimately you're going to find that person is going to, if they're the right person for you, they're going to do the same thing. Now, I used to have this one guy, and he's a cool brother. I had no problem with it. But one of the things that he did that kind of put me on edge was he gave me too many compliments. And men really only give you compliments two occasions. One, they're afraid of you, or they're jealous of you. Now, initially, I didn't know which one it was. Now, so I'm just a little cautious. So I'm watching him. I'm, still being friendly. I have no issue with you right now, but I'm cautious because I know this is not normal. But over time, it revealed you were my friend, but at the same time, you were jealous over this girl I was seeing. It was like, oh, and then come to find out, he tried to date her long before I, who she was or whatever. But again, it was more of a jealousy thing than a real genuine, oh, you cool and I want to get, we should hang out, that type of thing. It was, so I always pay attention to what people do and say and not just accept it all, and especially compliments. I'm not against compliment. I like people that compliment me. I like to give people compliments when they're due. But, you got to be careful.
But what did he say though? Like, was he like, hey, dog, you got some nice eyes?
Nah, not quite, but he did.
You real pretty, son.
But at the same, he did what he said. Say, we would go out, different places and hang out, and he was like, yo, you and another partner, man, y'all be pulling ladies so easy, man. Y'all, the ladies like y'all dress this way or this, and I'm like, bro,
it's because
you spend so much money on your clothes and worrying about your clothes, but yet you ain't got no game for the ladies, or how you don't know how to talk to people and how to relax. So, but he looked at that as, y'all look better than me, so y'all can get more. Again, it's just jealousy. Don't get caught up into the hype and into the compliments and all the nonsense. Again, friends don't need to do that. Now, friends will tell you if you're looking good. It's like a friend, like I said, if my brother, we out doing something, and I'm like, yo, bro, you look sharp. You shoot whatever you got. Yo, that look good, man. Good combination. But that's developed over time where he already knows that I'm just talking about your clothes, or I'm talking about the way you wore it, or whatever the case may be. And he understands that this is not a person that's trying to get close to me, giving me compliments. This person already close to me. So it's probably real. But also what we do is, as a friend, I can tell you when it's not right. So I can tell you when, bro, your shirt getting a little tight. You need to put that one in the closet. You don't need to be wearing that, or give it the Goodwill. Your pants a little too tight. I can tell them that. And just like some women need to tell their friends that, yo, girl, you need to stop wearing that belly shirt. But, but that's something that y'all, but a friend can do that, because a friend looks out for your best interest, not for what you think is good, but also for what we know to be good. So again, those are things that a friend would do. A friend is going to look out for your best and always going to promote you. So I had, you got friends where, say, oh, well, I'm going to start a podcast. Well, my friend, when he heard about it, he was like, yo, bro, that's a good idea. First thing he did was send me a book, and, a long book to list my podcast, and book to read up on how to start a podcast. And, and I got other friends who was like, yo, let me sew into that. They one who got me a webcam. So it's like, yo, I'm looking out for you, because we think you have the right things to say, but we want to help you because that's what you want to do, and that's where you try to be. That's what a friend does. They promote you and push you forward and try to help you reach your best. As opposed to having some people that be like, man, what you got to do, man? You got nothing to say. People don't want to hear nothing from you. You ain't nobody special. And that's true. I'm nobody special, but doesn't mean I don't have something to say that will be genuine. But
you're really special.
If you if you think about it, you have people that are supposed to be your friend, but they trying to bring you down or keep you down to a level with them, because they don't want to rise. So again, you got to be careful of that. Friends always want to promote you and push you forward and help you reach your max. And if you got somebody in your life that's not trying to help you reach your max in your relationships, so if I got a girlfriend or you got a boyfriend, and a friend is trying to help that relationship stay strong. If you're married, a friend gonna tell you, yo, you need to go home, bro. You can't hang out with me. I'm single or whatever. You need to go home. Friends will push you into making sure those relationships stay tight. A person that's supposedly a friend, they're gonna be like, yo, why you can't come out? You always with him or you always with her. That's not what friends do. Friends got time for you when time is available, but friends aren't stressing one way or the other, because they know, because you have someone special in your life, it doesn't take away from that relationship you have with them. And that's because you, as you grow, you'll understand that I have enough space in my heart to love a friend and to love a partner, whoever that may be. So, but again, friends push you in the right direction and always promote you to do what's right. So you got to understand that. And when you look at a relationship, the friend relationship, you got to look at, okay, why is that relationship sour? And sometimes you have to understand too, it's probably because it might be you. You got all these friends, and all of them seem to be doing stuff to upset you or bring you down, whatever. It may not be them. Sometimes you got to look at the friends you're choosing. And so, why are you choosing these people? Again, because one, you were thirsty for friends, and then you didn't vet the friends you allowed into your life. So now you got these people around you that's bringing you down. So that's a you issue, not a them, because they were always that way. You just never took the time to find out. You have to take time to know people. And again, if you hanging around a certain group, that certain group, and they do certain things, then don't be surprised when they do it to you. You got a person that say, well, she always come to me, or he always come to me talking about a boy or a girl so and so. But you think they ain't gonna talk about you too? You think you just that special? No, it's the same thing. But now you surprised and hurt when it happens to you. But if you would have cut it off from the door, be like, yo, don't come here talking to me about that. That's my boy, or that's my girl, and we cool, and I don't really want to, that's y'all issue. You should talk to her, or you should talk to him. If you'd have nipped it, then you wouldn't have to worry about it, because the most they can say is they don't talk about people like you. I'm cool with that because that's not what I'm about. So again, you have to examine yourself and how you find and build relationships and how they fail sometimes and what you're doing wrong. Because for me, I'm big on personal responsibility. I think that the things that go right or wrong in our lives, we have a role to play in it. Now, I'm not saying that sometimes people just crazy and things happen to you, but overall, if you have a pattern of certain things happening, you need to look at you, because it's what you're attracting or what you're doing that's causing certain things as well. And bad friends over and over again, that's more you than them, because those people were already bad. They were already knuckleheads. So you just played into it because you had a desire to have that friendship. So again, when we talk about it, we have to look at, okay, what do we have to do in order to ensure that our friendship is a safe place? One, then first and foremost, you take time to get to know the person. But then also, as you're doing that, you want to make sure that you take your time in developing the relationship. You have to develop the relationship. You can't just automatically go from I met you yesterday and we at a party to you my baby godmother. That don't work out that way. We got to build this thing up, and so you got to make sure you take that time and invest in your relationship.
The new thing that I'm seeing now is new godparents. Like I know a couple kids that run through like 3-4 different godparents because they kept falling out with the original godparents.
Yeah, but I mean, and usually God wasn't in it anyway, so that's part of it. Like how you have a godparent, the person don't even believe in God, but that's a whole nother story. But at the same time, if it was your friend and you made them the godparent of your child, why? One, did you choose that person if you're gonna fall out with them, and now you got 2 and 3 other ones coming in, but you never paid attention to what that person was. And maybe that person didn't do anything crazy or whatever, but maybe they are. But they probably was always doing it. But you didn't pay attention because you wanted them as a friend. You have to be careful. So you have to develop the relationship. Then two, once you develop that relationship, you have to pay attention to it, because all relationships don't stay the same all the time. Sometimes that relationship has reached its peak. So who was a good friend and probably was never supposed to be your best friend, but who was a good friend back, 5 years ago, may only be an acquaintance today. But you didn't pay attention, so you always keep having them down, having them at the same place in your life and that they've always been, but they should have never been. You have to pay attention to the relationship. So what does that mean? That means that I'm always evaluating what's being said and how things are being said. And when I share my good news with somebody or even my bad news, I'm paying attention to your response because your response is going to tell me a lot about how you feel about me. If I tell you when I'm hurting because I lost somebody in my life and you have no empathy for me, you telling me how you feel and how it's about you, you don't care
every
about
day,
me.
B. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, maybe I don't need you to tell me that. Maybe I just need you to say, I'm here for you. Maybe that's all. But if you can't even do that, but again, I'm evaluating this relationship. So I need to continue to evaluate relationships and understand where we are and where we're going in this relationship. So this friendship is deep because again, people go into a friend, they got their best man or their matron of honor or whatever the case may be, and all the groomsmen and all the people standing in there. And then you find out all these people you had standing with you wanted your marriage to fail. But you never paid attention. There's always signs. There's always signs that you would, if you pay attention, you'll see them. The people that, they caught me off guard. They only caught you off guard because you weren't paying attention. If you'd have been paying attention, you would have been caught off guard. Your hands would have been up. You'd have been bobbing and weaving and they would have missed you. But because you chose not to pay attention and you just walking through life, just and like everything happy-go-lucky, you got popped upside your head.
I trust everybody.
That's right. You trust. And again, I'm not saying that you don't trust people, but I'm saying you pay attention because you got to know how much trust they get. And you got to be the one to pull that back. So again, those are things that you have to be careful of when you're talking about a relationship, a friendship. Because again, and I say relationship because of friendship that's all it is. It's a relationship. It's just a different type. So, and again, it couldn't be one of the most valuable ones you ever have. But you have friends in your family. You have friends. Some people say, "Oh, my mom or my dad is my best friend." Not the case for me. My mom, I rest her soul. I love her to death. I always loved her, and and we were really close. She was never my best friend. My dad, who I loved, and he's cool, and me and we grew up. Never gonna be my best friend. However, because there's certain things that as a parent, there's levels that, even my kids, I love my kids and we're getting closer in different areas as they get older. But their best friend, no, I don't need you talking to me like I'm your friend. So
swore we were best friends. This has been illuminating. Thanks.
Yeah, so we'll never be best friends. But because I don't need my kids thinking, oh, I'm gonna drink with my dad, or I'm gonna do this. First of all, their dad don't drink, you ain't drinking with me if you drink. But also, I'll put it this way: with my mother, I always wanted my mom to see me in the best light. That's just how I live. Now, I ain't saying that's for everybody, but for me, I put my mother on a pedestal, and so therefore, I'm not going to do or say anything to her or around her for her to feel like I'm not worthy of that. So therefore, I can't be her friend, because if I was her friend, I'd tell her everything I was doing. And all of a sudden, that ain't the right thing to do. So, I had to make sure, you got to make sure that, again, and I'm not saying that works for everybody. Whatever relationship you have with your parents, that's fine. But again, there are friendships at every different stage. Rather, again, it's a parent-child relationship, brother-sister relationship, cousins. One of my best friends when I was younger was my cousin. Unfortunately, he passed away, but he was one of my best friends. We were like brothers, but those relationships all had bumpy roads. Even all my friends, you have issues with your friends sometimes. However, when you have those issues, if they're really your friend, if y'all really cool, y'all can fight and fix it. The problem, if you have a friend that you're afraid to have an argument with or tell them something, the truth, or what you see is going on, if you're afraid or you can't tell because it's a big blow up all the time, it's probably not your friend. Because a friend, you don't have that fear of. I can tell my friend, boy, your breath stink. He gonna laugh. He probably gonna say you something smart or whatever, but he not gonna take it so personal. They be like, "Oh man, I can't believe you talking to me like that."
Every time I come around, you give me go.
Yeah, what do you say it? Oh, he trying to make sure I don't be breathing in nobody else's face like this. So I ain't pushing you away because your breath stink, but I am telling you your breath stink because somebody gonna push you away. But friends don't have a problem telling other friends when things aren't right. If you tell me something that I'm not doing right, I'm good with that. I expect you to because you're my friend. You should tell me, yo, you out of pocket right here. If for me, if my friend comes around or he's around and I'm saying something out of pocket to my wife, he should tell me, yo, check this out, man. That's your wife. You love her. Because he knows how I feel about her. He knows that I got caught up in the moment and I need to calm down. I'm not going to kick him out of my life because he did that. In fact, I'm probably going to take him out to dinner later and be like, yo, I appreciate that, man. You saved me from a lot of undue or unnecessary issues.
An epic crash out.
Right. I mean, so he saved me more than anything else. But if he didn't have the freedom in our relationship to do that, then I could be in a worse position. But that's what a friend can do. So if you got a friend and you got a friend that can't even tell you when you going down the wrong road, that ain't your friend. If they choose not to tell you, or they feel that they can't tell you because you don't know that, or you feel like you can't tell them, y'all really not friends. Because friends don't have that issue.
So, me, the people, have questions.
Let's hear from the people.
All right. So, you've been speaking about rough patches and addressing said rough patches with friends. What role does history play in a friendship, and when do you decide that history has brought you enough, I guess, patience and leeway? Because some people will deal with things thinking, oh, they've always been like that, or this is just what we're used to at this point. So they let this problematic behavior go on and fester and blah blah blah, and it's basically just something that makes everybody miserable, but nobody's talking about it.
Yeah, they've always been that.
How do we deal with that?
So history is, is two things. So history can help or will help build a relationship, or history will let me know this relationship needs to end. Because what happens, and people always say, oh, she always act, or you know how she is, or you know how he is. Yeah, but I know how they are, but don't mean that if I'm growing as a person, why shouldn't they? If I'm trying to be a better person and treat people better, why shouldn't they? And if they choose not to, that's fine. But I don't have to be a part of that. So what the history tells me is if you've been bad throughout history, you will be bad until you can make a change. But I may not be a part of your change. Don't mean that you can't change and get better. I just may not be a part of that. But I wish you the best. So what happens is I have to decide for me. And every individual has to decide for themselves when enough is enough. When I've taken all I can take from this relationship, I felt as bad as I want to feel in this relationship. I'm not doing this no more because my own health and sanity is mine to protect. So if it's mine to protect and you are the one that's causing me issues, then at some point I may have to tell you, you go your way and I'll go mine. And again, I think what we do though, we don't have to do it so in such a nasty ego, like, stay away from me, you this and that. No, we don't have to do all that. Sometimes it's just cutting back. I stop coming to certain things, or I stop inviting you to certain things. I let it fall away because eventually you'll fall off because you'll get the picture, or if you don't, and if it's something you have to be abrupt with it, then you do that. But in most cases, you try to do it in a way that, hey, we just don't work. It's nothing personal, or it is personal, but it's nothing that, it's not like I hate you, but we just don't work. This friendship isn't healthy for me. So I need to move forward. And it's okay. Don't feel bad about protecting your own self, protecting your own sanity, your own health. Because bad friends can stress you out to a level at a level that have you sick. So don't feel bad about protecting yourself. That's okay. And you just move forward. But that history will show you that. If they were, like I said, they've been a knucklehead for the last 5 years or 6 months, or whatever your time limit is, they probably gonna stay that way. So you have to make sure that you in a place that where you can say, okay, we are good. We are good. I'm good. Time to move on with this relationship.
Wish you the best.
Wish you the best, and that's all I can do for you. But yeah, it just don't work for me, and that's fine. But I think again, most people stay in bad relationships because they're so afraid of being alone. And like I said before, I like me. I'm good being by myself, and so therefore I don't thirst after, chase after people to kind of fill a void in my life. I got my wife, my kids, and me. And I got family members and I have friends as well, but I don't chase after things or people in a way that will give you that ability to feel like you cramping me or putting me in a box or trying to hold me down.
And with me, only thing history gets you is an extra conversation, because if you have problematic behavior, then it's problematic no matter how long I've known you. So we can talk about it and you decide what you're going to do at that point. And then if you make a change, we can continue on. If not, then hey, we can continue to prosper apart from each other. Thoughts and prayers.
And I think everybody has that breaking point, or that point where they say, this is enough. And that's fine. I think the problem is, it's not even the friend that you're trying to get rid of. You worried about what somebody else might think that you got rid of that person. It's like, who cares? Because if they worried about how you got rid of that person, you probably need to get rid of them too. So it's like, but again, it's about me and my health, my sanity, my ability or to be free and to be as peaceful as possible. My life is about peace. I like to have peace in my life. I'm not a person that like to be stressed out, to be, always going through somebody else's drama. I ain't got no drama. Me and my wife barely even do. We don't have no arguments. We barely disagree, but we don't have no argument. But I don't have drama in my life. The drama in my life was my kid, but that was supposed to be that way. And so I accepted that. And that wasn't even bad because I was cool with that. I always tell my kids, like, you are supposed to mess up. But my job is to correct you. I just have to be better at my job than you are at yours. So theirs didn't bother me. It was, it is what it is. Just young people growing up, just like I'm sure I did the same thing to my mom. But it didn't bother me. But when you're talking about outside people that's supposed to, be your friend, when you're a friend, you should be coming in, not to say that you don't have some issues, and I'll support you through your issues. But if you always bringing me down, that's a problem. When you will ever get off my back and sometimes allow me to lean on you? So those, like I said, we got to be careful when we talk about, when we talk about a friend and who we let into our life. So again, but I will tell you this, and we're gonna wrap up. But what I want to tell you is, if you want to find good friends and have good friends, practice being a good friend. Listen to people when they talk to you. Smile at people when they're talking to you or when you see them. Be able to help and support people, and especially if it's a friend, even when they don't ask for it. Be that person that you would want them to be to you. But so if you start being a better friend, you'll probably attract better friends. And if nothing else, you'll know when to get rid of some of the dead weight. Because you're like, nah, I don't do this. This is not the type of people I like in my life. So as you continue to grow and hopefully, as you listen to some of the things we said, take heed and just evaluate your friends, evaluate the time and that energy you put into your friend, because if you want to have a great relationship, you have to be pouring into that relationship, and you have to make sure that you don't let the wrong people in. And if you do, then just allow them to leave as well, and then you'll be fine and get back on track. So again, we're gonna wrap up here. It's been fun. I love talking to to people about friends and different things. It's interesting. It can go in a lot of different directions, and as we continue to talk about relationships, you can probably hear us talk a little more, add some more into the friendship piece of it.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it in the ship stages.
Yeah,
go to another ship.
Yeah, we're gonna go into another ship, and the next ship is going to be the relationship between a parent and their budding adult child. So, and that's a crazy dynamic sometimes for parents, but also for children. And I think that the young person sees it and be like, "Oh, my mom or dad don't understand. They just treat me like a baby." But they don't understand that mom and dad they're going through that same challenging stage as you are. They're going through it with you, but on a different side. So it takes a lot. So we're gonna delve into that next time. So I will tell you again, like always, I really appreciate you tuning in, and hopefully you gain something from this, or you're able to, kind of pay attention to what you're doing in your life and how you're doing it, and be a better person for it, and continue to grow. As always, if you continue to listen, and we appreciate it. Stay locked in with us for a while.
Thank you for joining us for another session in the studio with Rob. He is Rob, and I am his former best friend.
Hey, appreciate it. Y'all be good, and talk to you later.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Peace.
Bye.